So I basically just stopped and started. So there's like 5 seconds in between the last video and this one. I'll try not to go for 30 minutes again. Why am I getting back into trucking? It's probably a midlife crisis, in all honesty. I am kind of bored with my current job. I have upward progression, but I don't really want to deal with it. Like, okay, I feel that the role that I am in my current job, like what I'm doing, I feel like I'm underpaid. And I've been fighting to get my pay increased, but the problem is that they're, I'm not, okay, I just don't want to get into details because I'm sure that some people that I work with will watch the video. I don't really want to get into the details and start drama over anything. Um, the, so money is an issue. I could take on another role at the company that I work with, but honestly, there aren't any other roles at that company that I want to do. I like what I do at the company currently. I'm not adequately compensated for that role. And there is a potential that I will be adequately compensated for that role at some future time, but I've been in that role for like 8 years. That future time could be 8 more years from now. And at the top end, uh, I expect the most I could probably ever make at that company is probably $80,000 to $90,000 a year. And I'm not like, I don't think I would have to jump through too many hoops to make 80 or 90, but to go beyond that, they would probably want me to get certifications that I would not be willing to get. It just wouldn't be worth it. Like if I were to go get the certifications that they would want me to get, like I already have a lot of certs, but if to go beyond 80 or $90,000 a year, they would probably want certs that I could easily leave that company and go somewhere else and make 110, 120, 150 or something like that. It just would not be worth it. So I don't see a lot of upward mobility within this company in roles that I would be willing to take, or I would have to relocate to places I wouldn't want to move to. So I'm kind of bored of my job, and I'm kind of like, I don't see any uh, progression without going and doing something I don't want to do. And I don't want to get back into a position where I dread going to work. So another factor is something I've always wanted to do is be a business owner. And I've thought about various ways of being a business owner, like real estate or what else? Like buying a restaurant franchise or something like that. All of that requires dealing with a lot of people. And I don't really want to deal with that. So I want to kind of be a business owner, but have a business where I'm not so reliant on everyone else. The success or failure of the business is mainly just on me. And the only person I have to depend on is me. I like that. I don't like depending on other people. So trucking kind of just meets that. And it's something that I've kind of had the itch to get back into for a very long time. They say that if you ever make it 5 years in trucking, it's something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. And I think I did it for 4 years. I didn't quite hit that 5 year mark. And I've always had the itch to get back into it. And the pay has gotten a lot better from the last time I was driving. If you had 5 to 10 years of experience, you were making 35, 37 cents, maybe 39 cents a mile at the megas. I was making 42 cents a mile back then. But I wasn't working for one of the megas when I was making that. But I think Swift's top end pay back then was like 35 cents a mile. And now they're paying like entry level drivers anywhere from 35 cents a mile to 55, 60 cents a mile for a student. Maverick, which, dear God, flatbed, no. I'm not even when I was 22 would I want to do flatbed. Definitely not now. Well, I think Maverick has other divisions, but 55 cents, I think, is their flatbed. And they start out new people at that. So the pay's got a little bit better. In general, though, company drivers still make crap. There are a few companies where company drivers can make decent money, which is the same as it was last time I was driving. You had the UPSs, and I'm not sure if Walmart paid well back then, but UPS, FedEx, and a couple of other places were the big company driver spots to get on with back then. And I think back when I was driving then, UPS paid $30 an hour. I remember it was a little, oh man, it bummed me out. So when I was working for Conway, one of the routes that I did, all the line haul companies ran the same routes pretty much. We had terminals in the same places. We had drop points and exchange points at the same places. Well, at one of these exchange points, there was a UPS driver that I chatted with that ran the exact same route as me. I made 42 cents a mile when I was driving, and then something like $17.50, $17.90, somewhere between $17.50 and $18 an hour when I was doing anything besides driving. So I was chaining the truck or doing dock work or local deliveries, anything like that. Well, the UPS driver was making $30 an hour plus overtime. All the this particular UPS driver did that one route all the time. And he made somewhere between $90,000 and $100,000 a year doing that route. Me, that particular route was not one that I did very often. I only did that route whenever the senior people either called out or there were just a whole bunch of good routes that day. I mean, it's just different. So I would run that route maybe once a month. And it was a better paying route than the crap route that the bottom of people at the bottom of the seniority poll would run. But I think if I would have ran that route every day, I probably would have made $65,000 or $70,000 a year. And he was making $100K a year, 90 to 100K running that exact same route. So there are decent company jobs out there, but in general, most of the company jobs suck. You'll be lucky to make $80,000 a year at a pretty good company job from everything that I've been looking at. So it doesn't look like the industry has changed a whole lot in the last 20 years. What my main plan is to become an owner-op. So the way I'm looking at it is 8 minutes and 33 seconds or so. I'm going to try not to go 30 minutes again. I'll explain the plan in the next video. This will be a brief overview of the plan. I'm wanting to become an owner-op, basically run my own business. And I know that the first year, 1 to 2 years, is going to be just a gut check. And it's going to suck because first year jobs are not very good in the trucking industry. And I've gone through that before. Hopefully it's not going to be as bad as Swift. So we'll cut this video here. Next video is the plan.